All right. So let's get going, everybody. I hope you guys had a great weekend. What a beautiful weather it was. Great weekend for real estate. Great weekend for taking off as well. So it's just one of those, probably the best spring weekend we've had yet. And it turned a little cool and rainy late after Sunday afternoon, which was perfect timing. It was kind of the end of the weekend. But it felt nice to have that cool air blowing through the house. So anyway, let's get going on the. So the first thing I want to do is we always share wins. So for those of you new at first time on this call, the agenda is wins, questions, and struggles. So if you have any wins, please go ahead and share. And always identify yourself too.
Hi, this is JC.
Good morning, JC.
Good morning. I was able to my condo under contract representing the buyer, and now we'll be listing the buyer's house this week.
Sweet.
So double-ended plus.
Double-ended and a listing.
Correct.
Where did the condo come from? That's awesome, man.
That's my SOI. I've actually sold them 2 condos in that area in the last 2 years. So.
Okay. So you had an SOI listing, which turned into 3 transactions, which at the end, you're going to have 2 past clients.
Right.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
God bless America.
Yes. It's amazing.
You go,
Good
girl.
job.
Who else got some wins?
Thank you.
Anybody else want to share some wins?
Hi, this is Robin. I got one of my properties that's been on market for a couple of months under contract over the weekend, which was awesome. And a new listing from a listing appointment I had like a month ago.
Say that again. You had a property from a couple months. So the listing was a couple months old.
Yes, I'm starting to get stale. So got
and
a
it went under
contract.
contract.
I'm happy. Yes.
Sweet.
And then one of my previous listing appointments I had about a month ago called me over the weekend, and we're listing it this week. So I'm excited.
Nice. Nice. We got to love it. Love hearing these stories. Love hearing these stories. So, and where did the listing that was stale, where did it come from?
They actually are both people basically in my neighborhood.
Okay. So pretty much SOI.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
So, and then the listed appointment you said, so both of them you said, so the one that's under contract now, or the one you just put under contract, and then the appointment from a month ago, that they were both SOI?
Mm-hmm.
That's
both
pretty
SOI,
awesome.
Yep. Yeah.
Gotta love SOI, huh? And don't you just love working with your SOI as well? I mean, you're not competing, or very rarely do you compete. So things like that, I mean, it's just awesome.
Well, and I dropped off my quarterly gift to someone I met at an open house who is never going to sell, but I know he's an influencer. And he told me he gave my name to some people up in Bountiful that are looking for a home. So anyway, hopefully I'll hear from them. But the power of the SOI is amazing. It beats everything, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, it's the most levered. It's the highest rate of return. So, meaning, if you work that versus spending money. I mean, I'm not saying don't do other things, but my debate and argument always is let's maximize your SOI marketing to the max before we start spending money on other things. Once you reach a level to where you really can't get your SOI to go any further and you would like to increase your business, then we start looking at other things. That's always been my philosophy. I shouldn't say always. It took me many years to learn that, and hopefully I'm becoming a shorter learning curve for you guys. So anyway, great job. Anybody else would like to share some wins? Oh, wait, before we do that, Robin, tell us about your quarterly gift. So which one was this? Was this the hot
Oh,
dog thing?
this is one I found on Pinterest. It was just a cute little sign that said it was a ketchup, mustard, and relish pack. I mean, it really wasn't a big deal. It was a cute idea that
Right.
I just found. And I just attached it with a card that had my logo and my picture and my, all info like phone and email and stuff. And then it just said, excited to catch up. My clients really cut the mustard and I relish in your referrals or something to that effect. I can't remember exactly what it said. But anyway, it was just, like a little $10 gift that I just had dropped off to, my SOA, either past clients or high referral people. Or
Right.
influencers. There's a couple of people on there that haven't even referred me yet, but I think they will. So anyway, and I just try to do something small like that once a month, and
Right.
it's the same cost as doing a flyer through the which isn't bad. But since I can hone in on 50 people instead, it's kind of
Right.
feel like it's worth my spend.
Oh yeah. And that actually came from Brian Buffini. So, because Brian Buffini teaches calls, notes, and pop buys, which is, I've taught that too. Not saying that I taught it before Brian Buffini, but it's just, for those that have been around the industry for a long time, we just know that's what it is. That's your best bet. And again, there's other ways, but again, why chase the other ways until we've exhausted the easy deals? So let's go after the SOI and do the easy deals first. So I've also posted that image on our Facebook group for anybody who would like to see it. I mean, now is the perfect time to do that because we're heading right into barbecue season. I'll bet this weekend there were some grills fired up. I'll guarantee that. And so your little ketchup, mustard, and relish gift would be very welcomed. So, anyway, what was the other one you did? Well, you did like Valentine. No, I love the video. You said, you said it was your 12-year-old son, right, Robin? He created it.
Oh my
so you had a
gosh.
picture of this cat
So
or a video
funny.
of a cat moving his lips, and he's saying something about, if you're moving, you got to use Robin Perry. It was really, really cute. So that kind of stuff's not hard to do. I mean, as far as he's got what I call young person talent. These are toys that kids play with that we don't play with as well as they do. I remember when my children were little, they had we had the video camera, and then the Wii box. If you could actually take your SD card out of the Wii, out of the camera and put it in the Wii and do things with the video. Like you could play the video backwards in Wii. So what they would do is they would actually record themselves walking backwards and doing everything backwards, and then they would stick the card into the Wii and then play it backwards there. That's what just 21st century kids do. They just play with these things and have a lot of fun with it. So they're unadulterated, undomesticated fun is playing with technology, where we try to be cool all the time, where they just have fun. By them having fun, they actually turn out to be a lot cooler than we think we can ever be. So if you ever want to do something, try and follow Robin and then see some of the cool things she puts out, and then you can imitate her. There's nothing wrong with hiring somebody. You can go to a website like Fiverr. I think it's FIVVR or something like that. Just Google Fiverr, and you can find people that will do it. So the concept is it's supposed to be $5, but typically it costs a little more than that. Sometimes for more expensive stuff, but it won't cost you any more than $10 to do something like that little video. So then you have it, and you can post it all over social media. So anyway, great job, Robin, great job on the wins. Great job on the SOI marketing. So anybody else would like to share some wins? I want to share a win. Amy's back in town. So that's a win for me. That's really a win for you guys. That's really a win for you guys, because you guys were stuck with me while Amy was out of town. So, but welcome back, Amy. Woohoo! So, anybody else have any wins?
I'll throw one out. I did listed a condo on Friday, and it's under contract this morning.
Good job, Charles.
It's already. And this is Charles, correct?
Yes, Charles.
Yes. So you listed a condo on Friday, and it's now under contract?
Yep.
Sweet.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's
So where did the listing come from?
Sphere.
I'm sorry?
My sphere marketing.
Yeah, sphere of influence, yep. So the reason why I always ask that question, I always know where the listing came from, but I just want everybody to hear sphere is where the business is. And I just want you to keep hearing that. I want you to hear over and over and over that the business comes from sphere. So, like I said, calling other things and spending money is awesome after you've exhausted your sphere. So anyway.
Hey, the other thing on the sphere.
This is Robin?
This is Robin. The other thing on the sphere, like I've started running, I don't know what kind of ads they are, but anyway, Brooke started running some ads that are specifically in Draper. And even though I don't know everybody in Draper, I do know a lot of people just from stuff I've done, like school stuff or baseball or soccer or whatever. So that really is a little bit sphere of influence type marketing as well, because people do notice that stuff,
right.
And even if they're not necessarily on my list because I haven't known for a long time or whatever, but they're kind of
right.
here. Because I got a call from a lender this weekend who lives in Draper, and he just started seeing me so much on social media that he called me and obviously wants to try to get my buyer's business, which is totally fine. But it did teach me that there's people who know me that aren't necessarily getting my monthly email or in my quote sphere, that they kind of are in that sphere, like if we're running ads for specific areas where we live. So anyway, that was kind of cool that he, called because he just started noticing how much was going on my social media, including ads. That's all.
Excuse me. And so basically you're doing kind of a Facebook Draper Farm marketing. Is that correct?
Correct.
So that'll help. So when your SOI sees that, it's just part of your brand. The other thing is, I was talking to Jared Wangsgard. He's open to doing he has a full-time job. He works kind of in marketing and SEO kind of work. He said he would talk about setting up a way of setting up your remarketing campaigns to where when someone visits your site, they see your ads everywhere. Now, we haven't worked out the details on that yet. The first requirement, so if anybody here would like to start that process, the first thing you need to do is create a Google AdWords account, because that's first. So the remarketing comes from your Google AdWords account. So, and if anybody doesn't know what the remarketing campaign is, if you've ever visited my website and then all of a sudden seen my ad everywhere, that's called remarketing. So that's remarketing. So and that becomes like a drip campaign. So, and in fact, I think it's actually better than an email drip campaign because they don't always read your email. They don't always open it up and read it, but they'll see those ads everywhere. So because they'll see your ads everywhere, I think it's almost better than an email drip campaign. So I spend about $80 to $100 a month, but bear in mind, I have a boatload of people that I track to my site. I don't think you'll have as many people to your site as I do in the beginning. You could in the future, but I have a database of 7,800 real estate agents that I drive, a good portion of them to my website. Where if you're just working a sphere of influence of 200 people, and if you can get 25% of them to your site, it's going to be significantly less money to maintain that campaign. So if you're interested in that, please email me. And then, but also you got to set up your what do you call it? Your Google AdWords account. That's the first thing you can do. That's almost it is a prerequisite to have that set up. not only that, somebody was telling me, I think it was JC, you want to have complete control of that because somebody, maybe it was Robin, somebody had an AdWord account, and the guy running the AdWords for this particular agent has locked the agent out and is running up her bill on her credit card. And this particular agent would call Google, but because she's not a registered admin on the account, they won't let her in. I mean, it's like, that's crazy. I mean, cancel the credit card at least. But the point is, now Jared Wangsgard would never do that to you. This just happened to be somebody that was slimy, and they were running an AdWord business, and the way they make their money is by having you spend more money. So pretty sad commentary. So that's because we don't have enough people getting their butts whooped. You know, they get talked bad about on social media. Ooh, that'll stop them. So anyway, anybody else have any wins? We got Danae's rolling in. Danae, you got any wins?
Listing a house this week, open house Saturday. I'm in Kaysville. It's a cute house.
Sweet. Where did that come from?
Somebody that works with my daughter.
So an SOI referral.
Uh-huh.
Perfect. So that's awesome.
So that they've already signed that listing agreement with me, and I saw your email. Do I have to have them sign a new one, or does that go into effect?
Wouldn't hurt. Okay. Just to redo the front page.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's not
required
No, it's not required because it just came out. In fact, the MLS, the other day, over the weekend, the MLS had the PDF version online, but they did not have the fillable version online yet. So, I just logged into the MLS. Wow, look at this. UtahRealEstate.com plus ShowingTime. UtahRealEstate.com signs MLS exclusive deal with ShowingTime. ShowingTime is the leading provider of showing software for the residential real estate industry. The company's online showing appointment request service will deeply integrate into the MLS, allowing agents unparalleled scheduling options and flexibility. Product allows agents and brokers to highly customize their communication with other agents. So that's pretty cool because I would rather have ShowingTime than agents that never answer their phone.
I agree.
So if you go to the form, so update it right here. So here's the form. See it right here. You can see that the PDF form is right there. Mm-hmm. But the what do you call it? The button to fill it in is not there.
Okay.
So,
what is the new form, Rob? I haven't seen that.
It's the new MLS form. It was in my email this morning. I'll pull it up. The two things they added, one of them is they're adding the BAC right here. So even though it's on the data input form, they're adding the BAC right here. That way, because remember the lawsuit, so this does two things. The lawsuit was saying that, this class action lawsuit against the NAR, 4 major brokers. There's actually a couple lawsuits out there. So this one here would prevent the seller from saying they didn't know. But even on our data input form, but I'm clear that doesn't always get signed. And then the brokers don't really read that, and they don't go over it. Where now it's embedded right into the brokerage fee section, and the seller initials it. So that does two things. One, the seller cannot claim that the listing broker was offering 3% BAC, right? Or whatever BAC they were offering. Because the lawsuit's claiming the seller was not aware that they were paying a BAC. But the reality is they're not paying a BAC, the listing broker is. The other thing it does is, let's see, if a purchase, the date of documents for the lease, date of the lease of an option, if within the listing period or any extension of the listing period, the property is withdrawn from sale. So not withdrawing the listing. So if the sale, meaning if there's a purchase contract and it is withdrawn from sale, transferred, conveyed, leased, rented, or made. So they added withdrawn from sale. So this basically says if you sell it, transfer, convey, lease, rent it, or whatever, or made unmarketable by a voluntary act of seller without written consent of the company, or if the sale is prevented by default of the seller, the brokerage fee shall be immediately due. So if your seller tries to weasel out of a sale, then we're due a commission.
I like it too because it also shows that how some people say it's a 5% commission and they're taking 3%,
right?
And then they're giving
That's the other thing it'll do.
Yeah,
it'll let the seller know that the listing agent is not sharing, is taking a larger piece, which is okay if the seller is aware.
Right.
But I promise you, most times the seller is not aware.
Oh, okay. But if that listing agent's taking the majority of the commission and giving the
which is their prerogative.
Yeah, but this way it's disclosed to the seller for sure.
Well, it was always disclosed if the listing agent correctly filled in the data info form. But how many of you actually sat down and went over the BAC in a data info form? And
I go over it.
But most agents don't. Most agents don't even know that the seller doesn't pay a BAC, so they're not going to explain it. Because remember, the listing broker pays the BAC, not the seller. There's only one commission in a listing contract. So anyway.
So, Rob, question on that then. If I have a contract out
who's
for
this?
signature.
Who's
is
this?
Robin.
Okay.
I have a contract out for signature for the listing for this week. They haven't signed it yet. Do I need to redo that with a different one?
Wouldn't hurt. So if they haven't signed it, it's not going to hurt. And so now this is the MLS version where you got to fill all this in, right? Look at all this stuff you got to fill in. Then you get down here, you got to check all this stuff, fill all that stuff in. Where mine on our website, right? So if you go to agents.Aubrey & Associates, you go to forms, right? Go down to forms. Where are forms? There we go. Go to seller agency forms, and I've updated our form to include the new stuff. So where we go to, so here's the complete listing packet. So it's got the wire fraud disclosure, but right here, so on my listing contract, all you have to do is fill in the seller's name, your name, and if you fill in your name and save it, then the next time you only got to fill in the seller's name and the property address. Now you fill in that commission, and you fill in the initial, and then you have them in this. So the three things you got to fill in, if you fill this in and save it, you got 1, 2, 3 things. That's it, done. And so, and then they sign it, but that's all you need to do. And then we got seller disclosures. So you can print all these out, and I recommend you print these out and have them in your car, because you never know, right? What if somebody wants to list their property and you're like, well, geez, I don't have my computer, I don't blah, 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 right? No, wrong answer. Have that stuff available. And years ago, when everything we did was paper, I literally had a box in my trunk that had file folders in there, and I had copies of all our forms, all the purchase contract. I would have a listing packet and a buyer packet, but then I would have like slots with all the forms in there to use just in case. I was never caught without a form. We used to write on the hoods of cars, man. It was like, now everything's just so done. If you're going to be electronic only, that's fine. Get like a tablet, fill this thing in, have them sign it right on your screen. So, that's the way to do it. If you get, so anyway, so that
mine in the Google Drive, so then I just pull it up whenever I need it. And since I use DocuSign, then I can just send it right there.
Right. So have some kind of system. Have some kind of system that's, so you're not caught off guard. Nothing would break my heart more than you have a seller or a buyer with money hanging out of their pocket, and you're not in a position to write it up. That would just break my heart. So, anyway, any other further questions or struggles? Anybody struggling with anything? If not, then I am going to end this call. First, just know that tomorrow morning I take a flight to California. I'll be gone. I'll be back Friday. I'll be available, tomorrow afternoon and Friday morning via phone. But Wednesday and Thursday I'll be in a conference all day, with breaks. So I'll have breaks. I'll have my forwarded to Amy, and then again, if you, so I'll be able to communicate, but Wednesday and Thursday to be limited communication during breaks and lunchtime. So I'm staying at the hotel of the event, so it means I'll be able to have my lunch break, grab something to eat real quick and spend the balance in my room, working. So just wanted to give you a heads up on that. I sent it out in this morning's email. I will send out another email and a text message letting everybody know. But Amy will have my phone, so.
Oh, Rob, I do have one question.
Who's this?
Danae.
Okay.
Does anyone have a great agent that's kind of a warm, fuzzy, but static agent that in Logan? I may need to refer someone out.
In Logan, is that what you said?
Yes, Logan.
I have, is Eden near Logan?
Yeah, isn't it? Or is it more, Eden's kind of up by Morgan.
Well, everything's near Logan from here, right?
Right.
So, I have an agent in Eden area that I work with. Let me look and see where Eden is. No, Eden's not there. Eden's just east of Ogden.
Right.
So Logan, no, believe it or not, I've never been to Logan.
Oh, it's beautiful. But okay. So no one's got one in mind. All right. I'll put it out there.
Okay.
Thanks.
So if anybody knows, I'll look. I just don't have time to research it right now while I'm on the call.
Yeah. You're fine.
So if anybody else doesn't have any questions or struggles, then I'm going to go ahead and end the call. Okay. Awesome. Well, you guys have an awesome day.